The next part of this project will be working on the footer section of the website. Now, depending on what type of site you're looking at, the footer section is always down here at the bottom, as you see. This GitHub site has the links spaced out fairly far. However, on this hair website, if we go down to the bottom, they have things in columns, and then they have this extra white space over here to the right, which I want to really avoid. All right, so how do we deal with this aspect of things? So what I'm looking at to do is to utilize this existing footer class. Now, what this needs to do is actually, it needs to have a parent. So the problem that I have, actually, let's take that back. So the body of the page needs to have the dark color. So what I want to do is to, we're going to set the body of the page. So the class BG-brown as the background. And then in the footer, when we get to the footer, the rest of that will be that way. And then let's come back up to the main. So in the main, where's main? So I want to set the class and then set the background of this equal to light. All right, and so that should do correctly if I've named it right. All right, so yeah, the background on this is light, and then when you get to the bottom, it is brown, and that's what I want. All right, so coming back to the footer is in a container, and so you're probably wondering, well, why did I do it that way? So when you zoom out, or when you have a page that does not necessarily have enough content like this is managing to do, let's see if I can break this on purpose. Temporarily, at least. All right, so where's the other main tag? Right there. All right, so I'm cut that out right now. All right, and so what you don't want is if I set the footer to just be brown instead of the whole background of the page being brown, what will happen is when someone zooms out, you will have this brown strip here. And let me just go ahead and demonstrate that for you. All right, so we'll do BG dark just to make it clearly obvious, and then we'll add BG brown here. All right, so when you actually, that needs to go on a parent, but you can kind of see what happens if you zoom out really far. The background of the body will show up even when the footer is all the way, above or so forth. And so that's why it is done, or why I did it the way I did it, because you're probably thinking that's not right, but it actually is. And so that way you have this white all the way down, and then when you get to the bottom, the brown, which this here is actually the body of the page. This is a div on top of the body of the page. So that's why this is white, and then that footer is there, and then regardless of how far you scroll out, that will still be brown regardless. All right, so let's go down here to the footer, and there are a couple of styles that this can be done in. I am debating on which style to do. I may start out with one style, and then if I need to, I will switch over to a different style. All right, so the company name and the copyright information goes down here in the bottom. So looking at one of the other sites here, so they have these 4 columns of information. This one has 3 columns of information, and then a divider with some more stuff at the bottom, and how to contact support and some accessibility options. Now, this site is not going to have this additional accessibility options, but it will have the ID tags and so forth that will make it accessible by building that stuff into the website. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is to have a 3-column setup, and we will have a, I guess you can say, company, social, and I'm not sure what will be on the 3rd column. So for now, we'll do 3. Well, I'll do 2, and if need be, we can adjust it and make it do 3. And then there will also be this bottom footer here. So we'll do div class and set that as a row. Div class, and then have a column, a small column of 12, and then if anything over that, it will be, actually let's do call md 4. So if I do a 4, everything divided by 4 will give me 3 to actually do there. So that's 2, and then one more. Whoops, not down there. All right, so then duplicate, duplicate, and if we format, we'll make sure that we have our indentions correct, and they are. And so we should get our coming back over here to our 3 columns, which you do not see at the moment because they are not configured. All right, so next I want to do text light. I may change that at some point to a different color text, and then that should not be green. This will also need to be light, so that will take place there. All right, so we have our first column, and then so we want to do a H4 in this particular case. It could be a H3, but for right now I want to do a H4. And so we'll do company, and then have a unordered list, li, and then there's some additional attributes that I think I need to put on here to be able to list this out. What I do want to do though is to put this inside of a loop. So we'll do for each. I think that's what I did up here. So for, okay, nope, not for each, wrong language. So for link in, we'll do config.theme.first or footer left parentheses, and come on, stop trying to be smarter than me with this, in 4 parentheses, and then in here we'll do li and do that and leave that, well, take that one out. All right, and so we'll do the same thing in the second and in the third column, but we'll call that one right, and then this one will be middle or center. So no, some people don't like to use the word middle, so we'll say center. All right, and so then, so that's the company, H4 help, and then the last one won't have anything. And so then if I come back over to my configuration, and so we're gonna move this side by side really quickly, minimize that really quick. All right, so we have popular items, general items, and then we'll take this and do footer. Spelling is important. Wait a minute. Did I do that correctly? Yeah, okay. General items, and then we'll footer left. And then so each link, so we'll have a link. So we'll have the correction. Let's do a URI. And then that'll be that. And then the name of the link, which will be, so in this case, it will be about us. And we'll save that. All right, so then if it comes back here, it is not visible. That's not a good thing. I know why though, because we haven't used the values here. All right, so href, and then do that, and then we'll have the link.uri, and then this one will be link.name. All right, so now if we come back over here, we have the about us, and then I need to change the styles. So I can either change them here. I'll put them here for now. Text.light will be the style that goes there. All right, and so if that mouse is over, that works great. And also text.decoration.none. Excuse me, dash, not dot. All right, and so I can also remove class, I think it's list style none. I think that's what that is. No, it's not. All right, so let's check the Bootstrap documentation. List group list. Let's see, unstyled. There it was, right there. All right, so I need to do list unstyled at the parent class list unstyled, and then if I go back to my tab, there we go. So that has been removed. All right, so then I don't believe I need that. Just to confirm, yeah. All right, and then so after that, I can do a so after the row, I can do, just for the sake of simplicity, border bottom. Also, I think I also need border. So border bottom and then border. Nope, that's not it. Just border bottom. There we go. That separates that, and we'll do a padding at the bottom of 2. Nope, sorry. margin MB of 2. There we go. And so I can actually probably make it bigger down there. All right. And then so those things go down there at the bottom and are separated accordingly. And you don't have to use the HR, which is the horizontal rule, to separate them. You have a border that's separating them. That can simplify things. I know some people rather just stick the HR there, but either way works. Visually, it looks practically the same. All right, so that is that column. So we'll do another column for footer middle. And actually what I think I want to do, let's save that, move that, whoops, don't do that, do that. And then what I want to do is footer underscore left, footer underscore middle, and then footer underscore right. All right, and so then come back to my main. So let's copy, say copy, footer right, footer, I said center and then I changed it to middle, left, save. All right. Whoa. I have an error here. Footer link middle. Got it. So it's complaining about middle being there. That not right? That is correct. Object is not iterable. Okay, so that means basically it has no elements there to go over. All right, so if it has no elements, then I probably just need to remove it altogether. All right, so now let's rerun the dev server. The thing about the mkdocs is if it runs into an issue where it can't build a particular page, it will basically crash the dev server, which is perfectly fine in my opinion, but it's just something that kind of that I have to keep in mind when I'm doing things. All right, so since there is no help links there, we don't have that. Copyright the company name. So what I'm going to do is for the company name, I'm actually going to change this so that you don't have to, if in case the name changes in the future, don't have to worry about that. So config.site name. And so site name will be the full company name, and then the built by RHT services is my company, and technically those things can be on one line. So what I'm going to do is do that, and then that. All right. And so now we have the copyright and the website built by on the same line. If I need to, I can put padding down there at the bottom, but right now I don't need to, so it will remain the way that it is. All right, so let's format this one more time and we'll save that. All right, so that footer is now built out. There are some other links that I will need to consider putting down here. So let's trim the white space off on this line. So next one will be URI. And so I'm actually just going to copy this, close that. So URI, whoops, URI name. And then that will be the, so we have shipping policy. Next line, name, return policy. Next line, name, terms and conditions, and so forth. So right now I don't have any of the filler text for any of this, so these will just be links. They could be pages in the future where this information is available, but right now I'm just putting in the links here. Looking at some of the other things, there will be another column here. So I'm going to go ahead and enable the right column. And then in the same pattern, we'll paste and then do a name and then Facebook and then do that. And then I know the owner has an Etsy shop, so we'll do Etsy for that one. And it is missing the styles, so I can now come back over here and copy basically what I had. So those two lines go there and go there. Save. And so now my styles, whoop, almost correct, not quite. I am missing the UL, so under that and the closing UL under that and that. All right, and so now those are there. They don't have a heading. I may come up with something later to put as their heading. Let's see. So help. That one had help, but we'll do connect with us in that column. And then we can also put a link to the contacts section of the page. So coming back to the configuration, URI, and then this could actually even be a like telephone number if you know you had like a support line. So contact us, and then let's do another one. Yeah, I don't think I had that on there. And actually it's supposed to be URI, not L. So I, and then 555 555 5555 name, and then call us, save. All right, so then you can actually, and if you do this correctly, when it comes to the phone number, you can actually put tail as the prefix or the protocol. And so what will happen is if you click this, you'll get a prompt that if you're on a phone, it will say, hey, this is a phone number, and it will prompt and it will open the dialer on the phone so that then the customer doesn't have to copy and paste the number. Now, some devices are and some apps are capable to recognize the format of a phone number, but that may not necessarily always be the case. So you want to give them the link that will allow them to be able to call the number in case their phone, maybe they're using an older device that does not have that intelligence, or using a browser that does not have that capability built into it. You want to be able to give them the option to be able to call you directly from the website. All right, that will complete the things here for the footer section of the page. Hopefully you learned how to set up a footer in Bootstrap and why you need to lay things out as far as the styles go so that you do not end up with an additional white space below the footer. If you have any comments or questions about how to set up Bootstrap or website development or anything in general related to that, feel free to drop a comment down below. I'll be glad to give you a response on that. Please be sure to subscribe and follow, and thank you for checking out this video.